Thank you. Okie doke, so this is Great Battle 4, which is part of the Compati Heroes series, which is a series of games that was mostly present in Japan. I believe the only thing that we got of it was Super Robot Wars. Every game in the series is different. This one is a platformer shooter kind of thing. And I forgot to start my timer, but that's okay. So, at present I have 3 characters available to me. I'll explain them the first time I use each one. We're gonna start with SD Gundam V2, but we're gonna immediately switch to a different character as soon as we burst out of the door here. This is Kamen Rider. Kamen Rider ZO. We use him for most of the speedrun because he is the speedrun character. He can dash and move, about 2 to 3 times as fast as a normal character. And he has this really neat kick that makes him invincible and does 2 to 3 shots worth of damage to whatever I hit with it. It's mostly the invincibility I'm interested in, though, because it lets me kick through enemies and keep going. So we're going to be seeing this guy for most of the run. Here we're just kind of chilling because we're in screen lock. Once the alarm goes off, we can start moving. We want these green orbs. The green orbs give us experience, which you can see in the top left under my health gauge. Every time I max out my experience, I gain a level, which makes my weapon not stronger, but better. We don't use ZO's weapon, though, so we'll have to look at that when I switch to another character. This intro is just basically blasting through this weird factory thing. When the screen lock releases here, I don't want to scroll to the right too far, because I can actually despawn enemies here, and I despawned one of them. There's supposed to be 3 here. So I despawned one, damage boosted off of another to save a little bit of time. And that's the first half of the intro down. A little cutscene here where we meet Dr. Light, or totally not Dr. Light, I don't know. And the antagonist of the game, who goes by the name of General X, or Mr. X, I don't remember which one. Since this is all in Japanese and I'm doing a speedrun, I just aim to skip as much of the dialogue as possible by holding down B. The trick of that is B is also jump. So you can imagine this can get a little awkward needing to jump to skip dialogue during a level. So that's the intro down. We get a little bit of exposition here and meet our 4th character. That's a character by the name of Roa, or Roar, depending on who you ask. He will join us as the 4th character at the end of this level, but I only really use him in one place, and I'll show you when I get there. What this is leading into is one of the more interesting and unique things of the game, the mech fights, which are also probably the biggest time sink and the biggest source of RNG. This is a really cool cutscene. We're skipping it. Sorry. I may show you later. But if you've ever played the Super Nintendo Power Rangers, you'll feel at home with this. I need to get a near frame perfect move here to do a lot of damage. Oh! I didn't quite get it. That's okay. So to make up for that, we're just going to knock him off the screen with bullets. While he's off the screen, he will not defend. And when they choose to defend, that's where things get nasty. I've used all my power, which is the blue bar in the top left. Yeah, there's a defense. You can see how annoying this gets in a hurry. So I'm actually just going to back up a little bit and go back to shooting him. So if I had gotten that punch at the beginning just right, I would have hit him 4 or 5 times and taken about 1/3 of his life off. But it's like a 2 or 3 frame window. So I missed it. That's okay. This is also a cool cutscene. We're also skipping it, sorry. So then we get into this segment where we can pick one of 3 levels to go to. The order you pick them is completely irrelevant, so I picked this level first, which I call Earth 2. A reference to an old sci-fi series. We're going to use Gundam V2 here, because there's a whole lot of vertical movement. Gundam V2's claim to fame is jump jets. I have to stand still after I fire, though, because you can't jump for about a quarter of a second after you shoot, and I will easily walk off a cliff if I don't give respect to that. Right now, since I'm actually using someone's weapon now, I'm level 2. Uh-oh. Being level 2 for V2 makes his grenades explode and go through walls. This is the only place we've really used Roar, by the way. To do a triple jump here to jump up. 1, 2, 3. That skips a segment where I have to go around, and it takes about 20 seconds. Here we're going to switch to Ultraman, whose claim to fame is being able to turn into a ball. This is now Metroid. We'll use him again later. He's more useful than that, but I'll get to that later. We rider kick through these laser fields. And just kind of charge through here. The game is 2-player simultaneous co-op. I am actually looking for a co-op partner for this. By the way, this is the worst room in the game. These guys are random. When they show up is random. Whoa! Whoa! No, 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 no. We're fine. That didn't happen. But yeah, this is the worst room in the game. When they show up is random. What they do is random. I just kind of damage boost through here. We're going to switch to Roa again here. Yeah, Roar, I call him Roa. It's a Japanese translation thing. But Roar is basically Banpresto Tan in male form. He is their gimmick character, and he is supposedly the protagonist, but he's like useless. He's used twice in this level, and then you'll never see him again, so enjoy it. His double jump is useful here to pick up these bombs, which we're going to need at the end of this level. This is an auto-scroller. This is where I would ask for donations, but this marathon doesn't take donations. Please feel free to spam your greetings from Germany memes now. Otherwise, I'm just gonna, you know, auto-scroll. So anyway, as far as weapon level goes, it's not extremely relevant in the game because your damage doesn't increase. For Gundam, the explosions from his grenades get bigger. For Ultraman, he fires rockets and eventually fires piercing rockets, which is really cool. And for Roar here, he gets the ability to fire bullets that bounce. And that's really about it. They don't actually hit any harder. The auto-scroller is almost over, and we're going to switch to Ultraman at the end of this. And Ultraman uses a bazooka and is the DPS king in this game. So we're going to want to use him for any boss fight where we fight, and we're going to do a thing called shield canceling to increase our damage even more. So normally you have a limit to how fast you can shoot. And it's a lot lower than this, I assure you. What I'm doing is I'm hitting R, which creates a shield, like this. And that resets my shot cooldown. We're going to bomb this guy 3 times, and that's going to be the end of it, because I hate this boss. This is the only time we use bombs in the run. We refight this boss and we use 3 more, but, you know. Also, this is the cutest animation in the game. This one. Yes, the victory pose. Any excuse I can have to end a level as ZO, I'll take it, because that's adorable. Alright, we have another mech fight here. These are not after every level, there's only 4 of them in the game. It just so happens I pick levels in an order to get 2 in a row. This guy's a jerk. He has a ton of defense, can just hit you whenever he wants, and causes lag while he's on screen. So, I just want him off screen. Like, I don't care what he does, I just want him off screen. So we're gonna shoot him off screen. You can see the lag if you look carefully from every time he attacks. Alright, I'm out of power again. That's fine. These mech fights are what take a long time. His giant fist here is what's dangerous, because he can just decide to combo you and there's nothing you can do about it. Guard Master, yo. But he's down. And that's the end of stage 2. Same cutscenes before, password screen. And now we start the second planet, third stage, whatever you want to call it. I call this the Reploid Factory, because it reminds me of the opening of Mega Man X2. And you can't have a Reploid Factory without a green biker dude. But unlike in Mega Man X2, he's not going to rip. I hope. Please don't rip. There's a guy there, usually I despawned him by not scrolling the screen far enough vertically. And a guy there I despawned by, with careful screen control, and this thing we just need to smack this a couple times. And if we're lucky we also... nope. We can despawn this too if we're good and lucky, but I was probably not lucky, not good, or both. Oh well. Most of the run is controlled despawns, quite frankly. Most of the interesting parts, anyway. So we're gonna sneak through here. Okay. This is a cool little gimmick where we are apparently being monitored by security cameras. I don't know why they chose to do this, but it's neat. I'm rider kicking through some of these teleporters because I won't make it in time if I don't. We're going to switch to Ultraman before we go into this room. And this is where we do what I call the rocket dance. The rocket dance usually doesn't include being hit, but what are you going to do? Part of the problem is these guys that fall from the ceiling are invincible until they hit the ground. So if I mistime a rocket, it blows up on them, and while I'm in stun lock or reload lock, they can hit me. Whoops. This mini-boss, I'm gonna just chill out up here for a little bit. They can't do anything while I'm up here. The exception is number 3. These guys are purely time-based. No matter how much damage I do to them, they won't die. And it does absolutely nothing to the second phase of the boss. So we're gonna hop back up here. The second phase of the boss has a name that I can't repeat on this stream. He's a Voltron of these 4 small robots. And he can just randomly go invincible and start teleporting around the screen, and we don't want that. But I can kind of manipulate him by being up here when he forms together, and he usually won't use his teleport. So I want him to do anything. He used his teleport. Oh god, get off me. Alright, and then we're going to use the Gundam's V-Saber to just tear him up. I usually die on this level. I actually have a death budgeted in here, and it's probably going to happen. Actually, it will happen because I have to take a damage boost. So, there will be a death. That is okay. I take about 3 of them on purpose in the run. Death animation is cute, wastes a bunch of time. Don't want it. So as you can see, when you die, you just kind of respawn where you are. Wow. I'm getting bullied. We want ZO here. This boss I call Aghanim. Why I call him Aghanim should now be obvious. His thing is, I can actually kick his projectile out of his hands. Oh, going over there is not good. Okay, whatever. So that's one phase of him down. Gotta wait for him to do his thing. And I want him to move away from the wall so I can rider kick him again. And he went right over to the other wall. Please. You chump. That's okay. This guy is kind of RNG. And by kind of, I mean entirely. I got him. Whatever. It's all good. So yeah, if he sticks to the wall like that, I can't, like, rider kick him, and making contact with his hitbox does a ton of damage to you. So, 2 deaths on that stage. It's not a good stage, but that's okay. I also just realized I'm completely forgetting to split, but that's alright. This is the 3rd planet, the airship. Okay. We're gonna pump fake this cannon. Do that. Pump fake that cannon. Get shot. That wasn't part of the plan. I'm gonna take this life here for marathon safety because I took an extra death. And this is the faster way through here. As nasty as it looks. I don't want to go up and over. Take this really scary looking jump. And then jump jet up here. We're going to want Ultraman to turn into a ball momentarily. So the downside with the way Ultraman turns into a ball is you have to hold jump for 3 seconds without pressing anything else. So it looks like I'm not doing anything, but I'm actually waiting for the jump to activate. And yeah, you have a point. Rider kick is far better in the flamethrower. If I'm using the flamethrower, something has gone horribly wrong. We damage boost through here. That thing up above me through the ceiling was what turns that electric field off. But that's slow. We don't have time for that. Damage boost here. These are all on a global cycle, and I want to try to beat that laser, which I barely didn't do. And now for the most complex boss in the game. This lady has 2 phases. When I kill her in her first phase determines what she does in her second, and I'll finish that explanation in a moment. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, she gave me really good luck. So the way she works is her second phase only has 2 patterns. A good one and a bad one, let's just say. Every time her first phase does an attack, which pattern she gives you in the second phase changes. So it goes good, bad, good, bad, good, bad. You want to kill her when she's going to give you the good pattern. And I will know if I did it right in just a moment. If she does another like wave pattern from right to left, I've done it right. Okay, I got the good pattern. So now I'm going to know exactly what she's going to do. I'm going to mash here to accelerate her demise in the helicopter. She's going to come in from the top left and drop something on me. Another wave pattern. And from the top left again. And she should go down in the next approach. Or I could just horribly beef it. That's alright. She'll go down now. There she goes. The bad pattern you may get to see in a refight later, but she actually has another attack that you don't see there, where she comes in from the back of the screen and does a bombing run. It takes about 15 seconds and she's invincible the whole time. It's awful. So now that we've done those 3 planets, we head into kind of what's the Wily stages. where the order of the worlds is static and we have another 4 to do. This is Wild West World. So, we're going to want to go over here, switch to Ultraman, and just kind of chill up here for a little bit. Bop him. Bop that guy. And bop these guys. This is probably the coolest world, just from the aesthetics and everything. So we're going to go over here, we're going to do the rocket dance again. We want to shoot 1 right, 2 left, and just repeat this pattern. Because only weak, one-shot dudes will come from the right, but these gunslingers will come from the left, and the gunslingers need 2 hits to kill. And we're just going to do this until the Chekhov's gun in the form of the crate of TNT in front of us becomes relevant. And you'll see in a moment how that's going to happen. So in a second we're going to get a green dude coming in from the right. There he is. He ain't very bright. I don't know why he did that, but there you go. You can't avoid that quote-unquote damage. It doesn't actually hurt you. It just stuns you for a moment. But you can't avoid it, so you know. It's just kind of interesting to see. Here we just camp out up here and shoot grenades here. Kill a gunslinger, hang 1 foot off the edge, and shoot the ones below. And repeat a second time. Alright. Here's Zaku defending a health kit, but I don't need it because we're going to get one in here. This level is also really kind with health for some reason. Not entirely sure why they made the decision to litter health kits all over the place, but I'm not going to complain. I also don't need any health right now. So we're just going to ignore it. As I said before, we're going to refight that boss I bombed, so we definitely want 3 bombs before we get there. And this is probably the most interesting room in the game for me, because it has the coolest NPC. That guitarist right there. Everyone can feel free to join in on the PO while I do a rocket dance here. Alright, good to go. We're getting close to the end of the level. This area is scroll locked until that TNT blows up, so I might as well just stand here and pick up the 1-up. There's no reason not to. Damage boost through these guys. Oh my god, all the PO. Thank you, thank you. Alright, this monkey we kick in the head 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And he calls his big brother for phase 2 of the fight. This is probably the most manipulatable, cheesiest fight in the game. Let's see if I do it right. He's gonna do that, which is annoying. Alright. He is now in pattern lock. He won't do anything but try to jut his head at me, but he can't hit me, so we're good. For some reason, though, he has the longest iframes in the game. So yeah, shooting this slow actually is necessary. We shoot him about 15 times and he goes down. I'm gonna get ready to switch to Gundam in a second here. Because we want him at the level of the start of the next level. And there he goes. There is another mech fight, and this is my favorite mech fight, as you will see. You know, most of the mech fights, the strategy is get the guy off the screen and do damage. This one's a little different. The strategy for this mech fight is to crouch down, and punch him in the, you know what? To steal a line from Mythical, punch him in the dingus here. Wow, he's being rude. And someone on Discord has their mic hot. There we go. So yeah, the strategy for that boss is to crouch down, punch him in the dingus, and when he shields himself, stand up and tornado fist him for like half of his life and damage. The next world is a water level. So we want to use V2 for this because he has a whole lot of air control. And there's our third bomb. And by air control, I mean water control. Your movement mechanics are really weird in the water. As you can see from just like how floaty I am when doing rider kicks. And they persist when you leave the water too, for a moment. So if I were to take a hit or bonk against a wall there, I would be floating weirdly for like 5 seconds. I'm gonna outrun this bullet and get hit by it anyway. That's alright. It's amateur hour here, folks. So I want to come into this fight holding B, because once this thing comes up from the ground, he's going to start a dialogue, and I just want him to get that over with. 2 sword slashes and a rocket every jump. And then he does this, and I just finish him off. Easiest mini-boss ever. This is going to be Damage Boost City, though. There's no real good way to get past this guy besides taking iframes and just going. Or that guy. But now I'm hoping to conserve a little bit of health with some clever maneuvering. So the thing about V2's jump jets is you don't have to touch the ground to refresh them. It's time-based, so in the water you can actually infinite hover. This boss is kind of evil. He's got 2 phases like most of them. The first phase is a scientist evil dude that just comes at you from his ship, and if he comes at me in a weird way, I'm just in trouble. So hopefully he'll be kind to me. Like, this is what I want him to do, is this like real slow drift toward me. Except his real slow drift put him right above me in a way I didn't want. Like, the best pattern out of him is for him to just slowly drift left and right and let me shoot him. That was close to ideal. Phase 2 is this giant Triton robot comes up out of the ground. And this guy has about 6 attacks. All of them are bad and laggy. Except if I stand in a very specific position where he thinks he can poke me with his fork, he'll never do any of his attacks but his fork poke. So I'm golden here. Unless I make a mistake, which could happen. He's going to do one more jump at me, and then I'm going to actually move under his... Oh, he's dead. Never mind. He died sooner than I thought. Usually, what happens is he does one more jump and I have to stand under the handle of his spear and finish him off. But that was a pretty good fight. So there's one more level. I have about 6 minutes left in the run for the benefit of the setup people. This was a 45-minute estimate because if I took a game over, I would lose my weapon levels, and you can imagine what that would do to me. But I didn't take a game over, and I probably won't, hopefully, knock on wood. I call this level Contra. The reason why should be obvious. It looks like the end of Contra. This is also Damage Boost City. I have 4 lives and it's the last level of the game. I'm going to take damage to save time here. A lot. So, there were a lot of things that I despawned there. That part of the level is usually pretty horrific. Here's the refight with the Scorpion bot. Because I have level 3 rockets, one shot like that, 3 bombs. He's gonna do damage to me here, I don't care. So there's 3 bombs. And there he goes. And we go back to Zeta O to traverse the next leg of the level. So, at this point, I'm going to come up to a sort of slalom of slopes that go back and forth. They're all going to have one of those balls bouncing down it. Or at least they would if I didn't despawn them by not going all the way to the right to trigger them. I actually also usually despawn that guy, but he was there, so that threw me off a little bit. We're gonna roll right and just damage boost through this horrible section of garbage. There's one up there I just kind of grabbed for the heck of it. Here's a refight with the helicopter. I cannot manipulate this one, so it's a 50-50 shot if I get the good pattern or the bad pattern. We're gonna see what happens. If we get the bad pattern, hey, at least you get to see what the bad pattern looks like, right? So we'll know again when she does her first right to left movement. If it's a sine wave like that, we're good. If it's a dive like that, we're bad. So y'all get to see the bad pattern. If there are any testers out there that want to figure out how to manipulate that, I would be very grateful. Because this probably blew a PB for me. I was on PB pace until this, or close to. So this is the swoop in from the background I was talking about. She's completely invulnerable right now. And she's going to ruin part of the level. And she bombed the one part I didn't want her to. Garbage. So we're just going to spam rockets and hope we can take her out quickly. She should do another, yeah, swoop here. So, you know, nothing I can do here. Besides show off Ultraman's super attack. That wasn't too bad. So yeah, that's a bummer. We'll see what happens. This is just an awful room because there's nothing you can do. You just kind of have to play with the to the tune of the cycles here. If I tried to do a cycle skip and these spikes came down on me, I would take a ton of damage and I'd get stuck in them until I died. So I would lose more time trying to cycle skip than just, you know, playing nice with them. In any case, I probably lost about 30 seconds to that bad pattern. We do the refight with Trysdyn bot here, as I call him. Same story as before. I mean, we just saw him a level ago. I don't know why he's a refight. Not much to really say at this point. Just feeding him rockets, blowing his feet off. And that is the last refight. We go into the home stretch. I would say there's about 2 minutes left in the run. I always go the wrong way here because this area disorients me, so let's see if we do it right this time. Kick this guy for good measure. Alright, I went the right way this time. And this is the final boss, Phase 1. This is just called the Emperor. And the guy that's been, like, coming after us in mechs has suddenly decided to go good and tries to kill the Emperor, but no avail. I believe what's being explained here is that the guy that just got shot by the Emperor is Roar's father, but I don't actually know that for sure. Final boss strats. Rider kick him. This is a nightmare if you didn't have the iframes from Rider kick. But that's all you gotta do. One more kick. From here, yep. Alright. Yeah, I lost about 20 seconds to that. So this is the final boss. And I beefed my inputs. If you're curious, by the way, all of the special abilities I'm doing are fighting game inputs. Like, the bullet is QCB forward and then attack. And the Tornado Fist is QCF back and attack. We just feed him bullets because, like most of the other things, we want him off screen where he won't defend. But actually phasing him where I just did is wonderful because I can go right into attacking his second phase. The second phase is invincible until we hit him 4 times. That one didn't count. He's being a bit of a jerk. So when he flashes red, I know I've hit him, and I really don't care about health at this point because unless he just completely goes meanie mode, I'm gonna win. We want to Tornado Fist the brain. My split is actually called brain punching for this. And I got the frickin' 1 cycle, amazing. I can't believe I got the 1 cycle in a marathon. Time stops in the first frame of the cutscene. Alright, that's the end of the run. 36:16 is a PB by 9 seconds. So I did PB.
Well, congrats on the PB.
Yeah, that's even with the bad pattern, I managed to PB. That's pretty sweet. That was my goal to PB in the marathon. But yeah, that's Great Battle 4. You know, it's a pretty sweet game. I actually picked it up exclusively to run for this marathon. I wanted to submit 3 games, and I didn't have a third. I was going to do Dino City, but Dino City is hell on wheels, so I did this instead. So I hope everyone enjoyed it.
Okay, thank you, Trysdyn, for the run of Compati Hero The Great Battle 4. That was a blast to watch. In just a little bit, we'll be moving on to Super Smash TV by Bristle, and I probably said that completely wrong, so I'm very sorry if I butchered his name. We are a little bit of ahead, so they are still getting the runner ready. So we'll just have to wait a little bit while we're getting him set up. Right after Super Smash TV, we'll be moving on to Donkey Kong Country 2 by Katoon24, who's going to do a blindfolded any % run, and then immediately after that, a Donkey Kong Country 1 run, being all stages at double the regular speed. So plenty of really cool runs coming up quite shortly. Then sometime tonight, we're going to have a Donkey Kong Country 3 run to top it off for a 103%. We're going to see some Terranigma, which is always a blast to watch. Then sometime early tomorrow morning, we're going to be moving on to, or we've got ourselves an RPG block for Final Fantasy V, Chrono Trigger, and Final Fantasy VI. Immediately followed by Mega Man X, Mega Man X2, and Mega Man X3. So a lot of really cool runs coming up real soon. Now, if you're not just here for the marathon, this channel features a wide variety of other speedrun related content. Among which I quickly want to point out the tournaments that are going on around here. There are several tournaments ongoing on this channel as well. One for Shovel Knight, for which the finals are actually happening pretty soon. They're nearing the end already. For Ori and the Blind Forest, for which group stages are currently underway. And 2 Mega Man tournaments, one for Mega Man 3 and one for Mega Man X2, both currently on the single elimination rounds. So definitely interesting tournaments to watch. There are several more tournaments coming up real soon as well. We've got a Zelda Link to the Past randomizer tournament starting on April 5th, a Mega Man X3 tournament starting on April 24th, and a Banjo-Kazooie tournament starting on May 1st. Now, if that's not enough, this channel also features the Get Yourself Speedrunning, a set of races and tournaments to get people into speedrunning. This season's tournaments are already on their way, featuring Final Fantasy IV, Portal, and Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland. Now, later on in the year, we'll be having the Best of NES Marathon, which is going to be in November, which is basically going to be 3 full days of NES games and their respective world record holders doing some amazing runs. The Master 15 is going to be happening again, a series of races of 15 Sega Master System games. So definitely a lot of interesting stuff there. The Tiny 10, which is going to be a marathon race of 10 different Game Boy games. So lots and lots of speedrun-related content. Now, it's starting to look like Super Smash TV is just about ready. So I'll be handing it over to them. So yeah, enjoy Super Smash TV, followed by a wide variety of Donkey Kong and Kirby and, well, more RPGs and the likes tomorrow. So plenty of stuff to watch. So yeah, enjoy the marathon.